Hi, my name is Adie, like the number, and I have literally no idea what I'm doing with my life. But I do know that I'm moving to London in about just under 2 months, and I'm going to fashion school. So that's cool. I wanted a space to document this journey I'm about to embark on, and you know, I feel like I've had very little guidance from the university on what's going on, and if I were in my shoes, I would love if somebody else had documented it. So even if nobody who goes to the program ever sees this, or nobody ever sees this at all, I feel like it would be nice to have something to look back on and be like, yeah, I did that, and that was what the process was, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. It's gonna be fun. So, here's where I'm at right now. I've been accepted into the program and I have accepted the offer that they gave me. I applied very late. I was really interested in the program. I actually really wanted to go into counseling and get my master's in counseling and become a therapist. Applied to 3 schools in BC at SFU, UBC, and UVic. Got big old fat rejections, which is very typical. A few months passed, and I've always just loved fashion. When the pandemic happened, I don't even know, I was scrolling Pinterest all the time, and I had recently come out as bisexual a few years before in a fairly conservative town, and had not really explored my identity very much, or, took in the opportunity to understand what identity expression was, really. I realized as I was sitting at home in grade 11, twiddling my thumbs, I didn't have very many friends. I did have a girlfriend who was not, and who had parents that were not very supportive of our relationship, so I didn't see her very often. Neither of us could drive, so I would maybe see her once a week. I didn't really have a big support network, wasn't really getting along with my family, and I found that clothes were something that I could use to express myself, and it was one of the things that I had control over in my seemingly out of control life. I didn't have control over the pandemic. I felt like I didn't have control over my relationships or my home life, or the fact that I didn't have any friends, or the fact that I couldn't go to school, the fact that I couldn't go to my job where I was lifeguarding. All of these things, I was feeling very complacent and very overwhelmed all the time, and I was struggling to get out of bed. And I gradually started to realize that getting out of bed and getting dressed in an outfit that made me feel good was becoming, an important part of my day. And it sounds ridiculous, but it made things more okay. I suddenly became very into fashion, and started to get into going to the thrift store, and upcycling clothes was another thing that I realized that I could try out, and I got really into painting pants. It was just something that was able to add a little bit of color to my life where everything was seemingly very, very gray. And I'm extremely passionate about fashion now. I've always wondered if there's a way that I can incorporate it into my life a little bit more. I love to sell clothes on Depop, and I love to go thrifting. I love upcycling. I bought a sewing machine a few years ago, and it hasn't got touched as much lately because of how much I've been working. But I really value the creative side of myself. I'm so eager to see the ways that I can expand my academic experience and my academic knowledge into a creative field. And fashion and psychology intersect in so many ways. I think about it all the time, and even reflecting on COVID, that's really what motivated me to apply. So I missed the first round of applications in December, knew about the program, decided not to apply. Didn't have a thesis I was proud of to apply with. March rolled around, second round of applications for the University of Arts London. Didn't apply. Didn't feel like I had time to propose a thesis. Randomly looked at the website in around April, saw they were still accepting applications, threw together a thesis or a proposal, applied. In May, I sent in a video interview, and shortly after, I received my acceptance, which I was not expecting at all, and talked to my parents the same day and decided that I should go for it because I think I would regret it forever if I didn't. And my mom always tells the story of when she was a nurse and she was seeing her husband at the time, who she ended up divorcing later in life, her high school sweetheart, and she got offered a job in Hawaii to go be a traveling nurse, and she turned it down because she wanted to stay with her husband, who was kind of a deadbeat, to be honest with you. Anyways, I don't want to make the same mistake. I don't have a deadbeat boyfriend that's holding me back. I have lovely friends. I have an amazing volleyball community. I am so grateful for the jobs I have, and I have such fabulous coworkers, but I need to put myself out of my comfort zone, and I need to go do something absolutely crazy. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I think I'm going to lose a lot of money because the Canadian dollar is not too hot compared to the pound, but I just can't wait to see what I'm gonna learn. Yeah. Join me in this journey of self-discovery and crazy girlness. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so fun. That's all.